The early years of YouTube created a strange and distinctive style of horror that was very different from traditional films or television. During the late 2000s and early 2010s, the platform was much less structured than it is today. The algorithm was less dominant, moderation was looser, and many creators uploaded unusual content without expecting it to reach large audiences. Because of this environment, viewers sometimes stumbled across unsettling or mysterious videos that felt like strange artifacts hidden within the internet. These videos often spread through forums, creepypasta sites, or word of mouth rather than through official promotion. What made them memorable was not necessarily graphic imagery or traditional storytelling, but the feeling that the viewer had discovered something uncanny or unexplained. Much of the horror came from ambiguity. Viewers did not always know who created the video, why it existed, or whether it was fictional, artistic, or something else entirely. 4 videos that represent different sides of this early YouTube horror culture are Obey the Walrus, username 666, the Wyoming Incident, and Suicide Mountain. One of the most infamous examples from the early YouTube era is the video Obey the Walrus. The video consists of distorted footage of a performer dancing down a hallway, edited with heavy visual filters, strange color shifts, and unsettling music. The editing style makes the movements feel unnatural and surreal, almost dreamlike in a disturbing way. The performer seen in the clip was actually Sandy Crisp, also known as the Goddess Bunny, a performer and drag artist who appeared in underground art videos during the 1980s and 1990s. However, the YouTube edit removed most of the context surrounding the original footage and reframed it into something much darker and more mysterious. Online rumors began spreading that the video was cursed or that watching it could lead to psychological harm. These rumors were obviously fictional, but they played a big role in how people experienced the video. The real horror of Obey the Walrus does not come from any explicit violence or narrative. Instead, it comes from the disorienting presentation and the lack of explanation. Viewers were confronted with imagery that felt deliberately alien and cryptic. This type of ambiguity was extremely effective on early YouTube because the platform encouraged speculation. Comment sections became places where people tried to decode the video's meaning or shared exaggerated stories about it. In this way, the horror extended beyond the video itself into the surrounding internet culture. Another influential piece of YouTube horror is the animated short username 666. The video is more clearly structured as a fictional story, but it cleverly imitates the experience of using the YouTube website itself. The plot follows a user who repeatedly attempts to log out of YouTube but keeps being redirected to a channel named username 666. As the character interacts with the site, the interface begins behaving in disturbing ways. Thumbnails become grotesque, pages refuse to load properly, and strange imagery appears across the screen. The video gradually escalates until the YouTube interface appears to transform into something hostile and almost alive. What makes the concept effective is its use of familiarity. Most viewers recognize the layout of the website, so when those familiar elements begin to malfunction, it creates a sense of unease. The horror comes from the idea that a trusted digital environment might suddenly become unpredictable. This reflects a broader theme in internet horror from that period: the fear of corrupted technology. Many creepypasta stories from the late 2000s revolved around cursed video files, haunted game cartridges, or mysterious online accounts. Uses that same concept but visualizes it through the interface of a real website, making the experience feel surprisingly immersive for viewers who spend a lot of time online. A third important example is the Wyoming Incident. This video presents itself as a recording of a television broadcast interruption, supposedly captured in the U.S. state of Wyoming during the 1980s. The clip shows distorted images, strange text, and unsettling audio, while a computerized voice delivers fragmented messages. Some of the messages appear to address the viewer directly, referencing ideas like, "We present a special presentation," and warning viewers about psychological manipulation. The imagery includes distorted faces, abstract symbols, and flickering patterns that resemble damaged analog television signals. The video is designed to imitate an emergency alert system broadcast, which immediately gives it an eerie sense of authority and realism. Even though the incident is entirely fictional, the format makes it feel plausible. Broadcast interruptions have happened in real life, and the idea of a mysterious signal hijacking television channels taps into a specific technological fear from the analog era. The horror of the Wyoming incident comes largely from its presentation. The robotic voice, the harsh black and white imagery, and the threatening tone create a sense that the viewer is witnessing something not meant to be seen. Like many early YouTube horror videos, it also leaves many questions unanswered. The viewer never learns who created the signal or why it was broadcast, which encourages speculation and discussion long after the video ends. Another important example from the era is Suicide Mouse. This video is connected to creepypasta culture and demonstrates how fictional internet horror stories spread through YouTube. The video claims to be a lost animation featuring Mickey Mouse walking past buildings while eerie music plays. As the animation continues, the atmosphere becomes darker and more distorted. Eventually, disturbing sounds replace the music, and the screen displays strange imagery. The story surrounding the video claims that the file was an unreleased cartoon discovered in an old animation archive, though this narrative is purely fictional. What made Suicide Mouse effective was the contrast between the familiar and the disturbing. Mickey Mouse is one of the most recognizable characters in animation history, usually associated with cheerful and family-friendly entertainment. By presenting a corrupted version of that character, the video creates a sense of taboo or forbidden media. The creepypasta format encourages viewers to imagine that the clip might be a hidden piece of media history rather than a modern creation. Even though most viewers understand that the story is fictional, the format invites them to suspend disbelief. This technique was very common in early YouTube horror, where creators blurred the line between fiction and supposed found footage. Together, these four videos demonstrate the unique qualities of early YouTube horror. Unlike modern online horror series that often have large audiences and professional production values, these earlier videos relied heavily on mystery and ambiguity. The creators often revealed very little about their intentions, which allowed rumors and speculation to spread freely. Viewers were not just watching the videos, they were participating in the creation of the myth surrounding them. Comment sections, forum discussions, and creepypasta sites became places where people tried to interpret what they had seen or invent new explanations for it. This participatory culture played a major role in the success of early YouTube horror. A strange video could quickly become famous if enough people began discussing it or claiming that it contained hidden meanings. The internet environment at the time encouraged this type of collaborative storytelling. People enjoyed treating these videos like puzzles or urban legends rather than simple pieces of entertainment. As a result, clips like Obey the Walrus, username 666, the Wyoming incident, and Suicide Mouse became more than just videos. They became part of a larger online folklore that blurred the line between fiction, art, and rumor. Looking back, these videos represent a specific moment in internet history when online platforms felt less predictable and more mysterious. The experience of finding a strange video late at night and not knowing its origin created a unique type of horror that is harder to replicate today. Modern platforms are more curated and better documented, so the sense of discovering a truly unexplained piece of media is rarer. Early YouTube horror thrived on that uncertainty, turning short and sometimes simple clips into lasting legends of internet culture.